Hey guys, what's up? How are you? Hope that you guys are having an amazing one today. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Jarrell, and in today's video, you guys already know because it is probably on the thumbnail already, we are going to be trying a new brand at Sephora, which is Hung Vanngo. I was able to pick up a couple of items from his collection, and I'm just super excited that there is a new brand at Sephora. It's like the new girl, you know what I mean? The new girl that we get to know, and I am just really excited to be trying some of his products. I know and I understand that he is a makeup artist, and just seeing it from his vision when it comes to the collection and also trying the formula, it's very exciting for me as well as a content creator. I absolutely love that. I love to try new things, especially when it comes to makeup, because that's what we do here. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the video. But before we do, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already. You can also like and comment down below because that definitely helps out my channel so much, and I'm trying to reach to 10k, so if you guys can help me out with that, that would be amazing. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So let's go ahead and start with the eyes. I'm just going to use my NARS eyeshadow primer, so we can go ahead and use the new eyeshadow palette from Hung Vanngo. And today I'm feeling smoky, I'm feeling dramatic, I'm feeling all of that, okay? So here we have the eyeshadow palette. Love the packaging. It's really nice and soft, like very smooth to the touch. I really do like that. It is in the shade New Neutral, and we do have a mirror inside, and here we have the eyeshadow. We're going to get really dramatic. I'm going to try to use as many shades as possible, and I'm going to of course continue on using this palette off camera, maybe doing some shorts and something like that, so I can give you guys my full and honest like review after trying these products over and over and over again. And in a future video in my makeup speed reviews, I will let you guys know whether I think this palette is worth it or not. I cannot really say too much when it comes to like my first impressions. I mean, I am going to tell you how I'm feeling about the products as I am trying it, but I am not going to be able to like tell you 100% this is worth it or not if I have not tried it several times. So I'm going to go with the first shade right here with a fluffy brush. This one is the Rougher 16 brush, and I'm just going to slightly set my brow bone area. My eye is a little bit red. It was actually itching. I don't know what happened. So just in case you're able to pick that up. So far, I mean, it is just a really nice peachy beigey shade. Nothing to it. I will use it exactly how I'm using it right now. For other looks, I will definitely use it on the eyelid as a more dramatic matte shade if I wanted to. But for today, I'm just going to use it with a fluffy brush. So it's going to give me a little bit of pigmentation and just a little bit of highlighting my brow bone, really, this area right here, with nothing too much, and any other shades is just going to blend into it. So now moving on to this shade with the same brush. This one is a little bit more on the caramelly side. I'm going to start adding that to my crease and a little bit on my lower lashes. It's not giving me a lot of pigmentation right away. Let's see if we can build it up so we can actually see the color a little bit more. So yeah, I am definitely able to build it up, but it's not super pigmented. Let me see if I can get a little closer to you. This is my 5th time going into this eyeshadow and just trying to see if I can build it up a little bit more, but I think that this is the most that we can build this eyeshadow. And I'm just going to bring in a little bit on my crease just to create that definition. It's giving me a little bit of definition, but nothing too intense. I mean, I do see the color on my eyelids. I'm not gonna say that I don't, but it is very subtle. So if this is something that you are into, then this is definitely going to be the palette for you. Something that is not super pigmented, something that you can build up little by little, and it's not going to be like super intense. At least those 2 shades that I have tried so far. I'm going to go in with this shade right here to see if we can build the intensity, and this is a Rougher 13 brush. It's a lot smaller than the one that we were using before. Okay, so yeah, this one is definitely giving me pigmentation. I'm going to run it on my lower lashes halfway, and I'm going to focus this color in the outer part of my eye. Okay, yeah, that actually got smoky really quickly. You can see that it does have a little bit of fallout, which is fine with me because I tend to do my eyes first, so I am going to do the same thing in the other eye. So I'm really liking the way that it's actually blending out. It's not not staying in one spot. It's blending out really nicely to the other shade that we already applied. And this is taking like no time to actually give you pigmentation and give you definition and a little bit of darkness in the outer corner. So I like that. All right, I'm going back with the first brush and the previous shade just to blend the edges. I'm going to take this silvery shade right here, and I'm trying to pick it up with a synthetic brush. This one is the Refer 21 brush. I'm going to add it to the inner corner and just bringing it in on the lid. I can definitely feel the eyeshadow just falling down on my face, just to give you the heads up on that. I'm just going to leave it halfway. I'm going to use this shade right here, right next to the one that we were using before. It does feel really nice and silky to the touch, but it doesn't have any glitter. It's more of a satin shade. I'm just going to add it right here on the center. It's a little bit more on the sheer side. It doesn't have a lot of pigment to it. Like, it doesn't have like a strong base to it. I'm going to try to blend all the shades together. So the middle shade just blending with the outer corner and also with the inner corner. I'm going to go back to this silvery shade, just build it up a little bit more so we didn't lose it. When we have something like this, I'm going to deepen things up a little bit more with this shade right here. Just taking a tiny bit of that and going on the lash line and also in the outer corner. I'm going to use a smaller brush and take this shade right here, and I'm going to add that to the lash line as well as the outer corner. Going back with the Refer 13 brush, and I'm going to go back to this shade just so we can blend the edges. I'm going to run it on my lower lashes as well, cleaning out the fallout and just making sure that it's shaped to my liking. After cleaning out the fallout, it actually looks really nice and beautiful. It's super subtle, nothing too like intense when it comes to like the shimmer or glitter. It's more of a sophisticated kind of eyeshadow look. Again, the shimmer is not like super intense, like chunky or anything like that. I am going to swatch it for you guys on the back of my hand so you guys can see it. Let me just do that. All right, so here we have the first road, but this is the first 4 on the top, right? And here we have the 4 on the bottom. So the 4 shades on the bottom, you can see that they are a little bit more subtle. They are not too intense like the ones on the top, or at least this one right here on the top. This one has a little bit more of a champagne pinky tone to it. It's really nice and beautiful, and I do feel like this shade in particular is going to be like a little bit more intense than the one that I use, which is the silver one. So I do feel like this shade in particular, it has a little bit more punch to the one that I am using, which is the one on the bottom. It's a little bit more silver. This one has a little bit more like rosiness, champagne-y to it. Let me just add a little bit of that shade because I'm not going to be okay if I don't. So I am going to add this one right here after swatching it, just because I think that I am going to like how intense it is. I'm just going to add it right here in the center because the center shade was a little bit too sheer for me. But as I am applying this color, it does give me a little bit more intensity to it. Like, it's a little bit more bold when it comes to like the shimmer. That is so beautiful. But I do feel like it is showing a lot of the texture that I do have on my eyelids. So it's not very forgiving when it comes to showing the texture. Like, it's just emphasizing all of the lines that I have on my eyelid and, you know, just giving you what I am seeing so you guys understand, and just in case you do try it. They're not as smooth and as forgiving as other eyeshadows that I have tried, but here we have the eyes. They're really beautiful. I do feel like the eyelids look a little bit more intense, like more my style for sure. There's no glitter to it. It's like more of a, like, I don't know, like metallic kind of shade. It's really interesting. It's showing a lot of the lines and the wrinkles that I do have on my eyelids, so just keep that in mind. You know, this is just my first impression. So yeah, let me go ahead and just do a little bit of mascara, just finish up with the eyes off camera, and do my foundation as well so we can apply the bronzer and the blush. I'm not going to do any cream products today just because I want to show you how these products actually go on just, you know, a blank base. I'm going to be linking all the products that I use to complete this makeup down below in the description area, just in case you guys are interested in just knowing all the details of all the products that I am using. Let me do that off camera and I'll be right back. Now let's go ahead and add a little bit of bronzer. I did add the Makeup by Mario foundation as well as the Dolce & Gabbana concealer, which I have been really enjoying. I also set my under eyes using the new Laura Mercier powder, which I have have been really enjoying as well. This one is in the shade Peach. It is super, super good. And that is it. That is all that I added to the complexion. Now let's go ahead and try the bronzer. And this one is in the shade Hardworking. Let me go ahead and see if I can swatch it. I'm hoping that it's like the right shade for me. It has a little bit of like red undertone to it. I don't know if you can see it, but let's see how it actually looks on the skin. And I'm going to be using my BK Beauty A507 brush. Love this brush to add blushes and bronzer. So I'm going to tap it because I don't have any powder or anything like that. I don't want the foundation to be disturbed. So, and then once it's applied on the skin, I'm going to start blending it out. So yeah, I definitely could have gone a little bit lighter of a shade, but I think that this one will work just fine on me as well. So it does have a little bit of a fallout or a kickback on the pan, just so you know. I'm going to do one side so you guys can see like no bronzer and bronzer. Yeah, I went ahead and added a little too much. I'm going to bring it down my neck, and it's a matte formula, and for being a matte bronzer, it's actually really nice, beautiful, and very blurring on the skin, and it's not holding on to my foundation. Very smooth on the skin, and it's blending out really, really nicely. So I do like that. So just going back with my foundation brush just so I can clean the edges. So here's how the bronzer looks on the skin, and again, this is in the shade Hardworking. No bronzer, bronzer. It looks really nice. I like it. Okay, so now I'm going to use the blush on this side. Since we do not have anything, I just want to make sure that I give you guys a nice swatch so you guys can see it. And also let me swatch it on the back of my hand. So it's more of a peachy orangey shade. That is beautiful. Love these type of shades, especially during like the summer months. I need to clean my brushes because they are all dirty from swatching other palettes. So yeah, definitely going to clean my brushes today. I'm going to be using this one right here, which is the BK Beauty 112 brush. It's an angle brush. Really, really nice. Love it for any type of cream products and also powders as well. So we are going to grab a little bit of this blush. It is a matte formula, and you can also see that it has a little bit of fallout as well on the pan, a little bit of kickback. So let's see how it actually swatches on the skin, just to make sure that it's really nice and smooth. And once it's nice and distribute on my cheeks, I'm going to start blending it. Going to add a little bit more. Okay, so for being a matte blush, it's definitely blending really, really nice, and it does have a little bit of a sheen to it. Like it has a little bit of silkiness. Again, very nice and blurring as well on the cheeks. That's beautiful. I really, really like the color. It's really nice and beautiful, flattering for my complexion. And again, it does have a little bit of a blurring effect to it. It's really nice. It blends out really nicely as well. It didn't take much to build up the color. It's not too pigmented where it actually is hard for you to blend it out. No, I blended out really, really nice and beautiful. And by the way, the name of the blush is Born from Beauty, and it does have a little bit of luminosity to it, but there's no glitter to it. All right, so now I'm just going to try to match both sides to one another. Just adding a little bit of the blush right here, taking the bronzer. Okay, yeah, so I think the bronzer is a little bit too deep for me, so I am definitely going to see if I can pick up a lighter shade. I think that this shade in particular will work best for me during the summer months, but yeah, combining with this blush is just a little bit too bronzy for my liking, and it's leaning a little bit too red versus a neutral shade for me. Let me try to fix it. It's looking a little bit orangey. And I'm using the Makeup by Mario powder in the shade 02. All right, so now let's go ahead and finish it up with the lip liner and the lipstick. I'm going to write down the shades of everything down below in the description area, just in case you didn't hear it like the first or second time. I'm going to do that for you guys. I always do. So let's go ahead and use the lip liner. So this ones right here are retractable, and I'm sure that it has, yeah, and it has a little sharpener on the end of it. Okay, that is a really nice, beautiful, like caramelly shade. It's like a peachy brown, and it's going on really, really nicely, like super easy. I'm trying to overline just a little bit. The formula of it, it feels really nice and creamy, but it's not super, super sliding. They're not super creamy like the ones from Fenty Beauty or even Rare Beauty. They're not as creamy as those. This one's, they actually do have a little bit more grip to it. I do like the shade as well. So let's go ahead and now try the lipstick. lipstick and it gives you pigmentation right away. I do really like how the lip liner actually defined my lips, because you can actually see the difference from the lip liner to the lipstick. And these type of colors of lipsticks are like my go-to because they're a little bit more on the peachy nudie side. I really do like it, especially pairing it with an orangey blush is like chef kiss. All right guys, so here we have the final look, and let me give you my first impressions. I definitely want to be like super honest with you guys, but I also want to be respectful to those of you that are creating brands, those of you that are working super hard behind the scenes and just, you know, coming out with a new collection. In this case, Hung Vanngo, I can only imagine all the work that you have put into it, all the time that you have actually invested in creating different eyeshadow palettes and the color story and working in formulas. I cannot imagine doing that, but I really truly appreciate it, and I'm super excited to continue on testing products from your brand. With that being said, I do also want to be honest with my audience and my first impressions when it comes to all of these products that I tried for today's video. I do gotta say that I am not super wow with any of the products that I have tried today. I do feel like all of the products are very good and they all worked out really nicely. I could have picked a different shade for myself for a bronzer, just because the bronzer itself, I do feel like it's making me look a little bit too like orangey, like reddish, and I prefer a bronzer that is a little bit more on the neutral side, so that could have been my mistake. I also feel like the blush is just a little bit too bold for my skin right now, so I definitely can see myself reaching for these type of shades during the summertime, but during the winter time I could have also picked a different blush, maybe just a little bit more pinky rosy, you know, something for every single day. So again, that is my mistake. But when it comes to the formula of the bronzer and the blush, I think that they are both very nice blurring. They go on very nicely on the skin. They really truly blend super easily. You are able to build up the shade so nicely as well. So when it comes to the formula, I do really think it's a really nice, beautiful formula. Being a matte formula and not being like super flat on the skin, it actually gives you a really nice, beautiful, like blurring satin finish on the skin, which I really do like. It's just the shades that they are just a little bit off for me, but again, that is my fault. I could only pick a couple of products from the brand. I could not pick everything for you guys, so you know, maybe I just chose incorrectly, and not maybe, I did chose the wrong shades just because I'm shopping online, and sometimes that is a little bit harder than when you actually see it in person and you get to swatch it and you get to see it, you know, the true color in person is different when you are actually seeing it on the models online. So yeah, now when it comes to the lipstick and lip liner, again, I think that's a really nice formula. I absolutely love that it's not super sliding, so you don't have to be like super careful on how you are applying the lip liner. It goes down really nicely. It's pigmented. I love the shade, and I definitely love the shade. I like the fact that it's actually a retractable, just because it is going to be like super easy on the go for me to like take it with me. I don't have to, you know, add an additional like sharpener or anything like that, so I really do like that. The lipstick also, even though it's a matte formula, it feels really nice and silky on the lips, and again, I do really like the shade. It reminds me so much of Peach Talk from MAC. I mean, it is, I feel like it's the same shade. It's just not flattering to my teeth because I do feel like my teeth look a little extra yellow with it, but these type of shades I'm in love with. This lip combo, I think that it's really nice and beautiful. I do feel like I have like the same type of shades in my collection, you know, Peach Talk being one of them. I don't feel like it is super unique. I love the fact that it doesn't have a scent. It's really nice and comfortable, but I do feel like I have experienced these type of formula before. I do really appreciate though that it's magnetic, that it has the logo, his logo right here. Like, I think that it's really nice. It feels like high-end for sure. I love eyeshadows. I think that I have always loved eyeshadows, and I don't think that I could ever not love eyeshadows. So I know the type of quality that I enjoy in my eyeshadows and what I really don't, and that's okay. But we are all different, and you know, what works for me might not work for you. And these type of eyeshadows are not super glittery, like super bold in your face when it comes to like the shimmer metallic shades that he has here on his palette. They are definitely more wearable, a little bit more sophisticated, more settled, and I do like that. I absolutely love this look. Whenever I see these type of shades, I absolutely love to create a little bit of smokiness, like to be very bold with my eyeshadows, very glam, but you can also totally tone it down because these are like super basic colors that you might already have in your collection. I just wanted to try the formula. I do feel like out of these two shades right here, there's not a lot of difference when it comes to adding it to the eyes. Like even by swatching these two shades, they're very close to one another. So I don't think that you needed both of them. I think that instead of a dark brown, it could have been a black, just so you can add more depth to your look. I mean, that is just my opinion, because I don't know if you can see it, they look really alike to one another, and even on the eyes they look very close to one another. Now when it came to this shade right here, I was a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie, just because I thought that it was going to give me a little bit more something to this shade. I feel like it's disappearing on my skin tone. Like when I swatch it here on my hands, it was doing the same thing on the eyes. It was giving me a little something but not really. So I was a little sad. I thought that it was going to be a little bit more on that like browny khaki kind of shade, just to give it a little something special to the outer corners of your eye, you know, just like as a transition shade. I thought that it was going to be just a little bit more deeper, and you can actually build it up to that intensity that I was looking for, but unfortunately it never got there. Okay, I tried it so many times. I think that I applied it like 6-7 times on the eyes, and it was just not building up enough for me. The other two shimmer shades that I do have in the eyelid, again, like I mentioned to you in the beginning, they do give me a little bit more like oomph to the look, but I do feel like it is accentuating the little texture that I do have on my eyelid. I'm going to continue on playing with this palette, you know, testing, doing my job, testing it out several times for you guys, but like when it comes to my first impressions, it didn't wow me. The formula did not wow me at all. Actually, it came a little short to what I was expecting. But you guys, that is it when it comes to my first impressions on Hung Vanngo. I hope that it was helpful for you guys, and let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think? Let me know if you have already tried any of products. How is it working out for you? Let's go ahead and chat about it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your love, your time, and support. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, and I will see you next time.